people want to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds. They want to fit back into their old dresses and they want to get toned up and they want to look good for their sister's wedding. They tell me they want to get back in shape and I want to get my diet right. And those sounds powerful until I ask these three questions. Hello. Welcome to Healthy Systems Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Mo. I know I skipped the last 2 weeks, but I had a really good reason. So I recently became a father. My baby girl was born about a month ago, and last 2 weeks were a little hectic for my wife and I. So we're just adjusting to a new schedule. But that's the whole point of Healthy Systems. It is to have consistency. So now that I'm able to jump on, I just wanted to tell you guys that story because I could have easily just not say that and just moved on. But I wanted to make a point because sometimes life is going to throw you some curveballs. The seasons of life, you might be getting married, you might be having children, you might have things happening in your life and that might make you take a break from something that you so consistently do. Because I haven't skipped a single episode for Healthy Systems in about 3 years, right? So when this happens, the best thing you can do is just to get back on track, right? So for me, the last 2 weeks were kind of hectic, but now that I'm back in, the first thing I do, I was back on schedule. We're getting back into it. What most people do is they do the all or nothing mentality. We've talked about this before where it's they have a 2 weeks where they're not able to exercise or be on time with their fitness schedule. And all of a sudden they just drop the whole thing. No, it's not supposed to be like that, right? As soon as life gets back to normal, you just get back on track. No guilt, no shame, get back on track. No guilt, no shame, get back on track, right? The reason I repeated that is because it's very important because your brain is going to play games with you and then you just end up you're getting off track. So overall, I'm excited to be back. Today's episode is going to be fire. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about today is something I've been having a lot of conversations with my clients about and something I've been thinking a lot about, which is the episode title today is You Wanted to Lose Weight for 3 years. Here's the actual reason you haven't. Okay. So obviously, a lot of you listening, a lot of my clients, even when they come work with us, they've been wanting to lose weight for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even longer, maybe more. And I'm going to tell you the actual reason you haven't. Not the reason you tell yourself, not the busy schedule, not the metabolism, not the motivation, not the lack of time, not the stress. Those things are real. I agree, but I'm not dismissing them at all. But they're not the actual reason. I'll tell you the actual reason. And I boiled it down to 3 things that you might be missing. And I promise you by the end of this episode, if all you do is take a pen and paper and actually write down those 3 things, you will start moving towards your goal. Okay. The actual reason is what you have is not a goal, right? So if you think about it, you're like, man, I want to lose 20 pounds. It's okay. Is that a goal? In my definition, that's not really a goal. It's a wish. And wishes don't have deadlines. Wishes don't have consequences. And wishes also don't have rewards specific enough to fight for. Wishes are just comfortable. They ask nothing of you today. You just set the wish and you move on, right? And the thing is, as long as your goal stays as a wish, nothing is going to change. And I talk to people every single day, sometimes up to 8 to 10 appointments a day, fitness clients, right? And what we see is people want to lose 30 pounds, 40 pounds. They want to fit back into their old dresses and they want to get toned up and they want to look good for their sister's wedding. They tell me they want to get back in shape and I want to get my diet right. And those sounds powerful until I ask these 3 questions, right? So I ask them, by when? When do you need to do that by? And oftentimes people don't know, right? And then I ask them, what happens if you never do it? Nothing. Life just continues. Okay. What happens when you actually achieve it? And the funny thing is they've never even thought that far. They haven't thought about celebrating after they achieve the goal. And that's why the goal has been the same goal for 3 years. So today I'm going to give you the framework that fixes it. And this is Healthy Systems. I'm Coach Mo. Let's dive right in, right? Welcome back to Healthy Systems, the show where we talk about building systems that actually work across the 5 F's of life: faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun. Today, we're talking about goals, specifically fitness goals. And more specifically, why most people's fitness goals are not actually goals yet. I've been coaching for over a decade. I worked with over 1,000 plus clients through Training with the Titans. And one of the most common things I see is people who genuinely want to change their body, genuinely want to get healthy, genuinely want to feel better. The desire is real, but the goal isn't built yet. And today I'm going to give you a framework that fixes that. I call it the DCR Framework. DCR stands for deadline, consequence, and reward. These are 3 things every fitness goal really needs. And by the end of this episode, you're going to look at your goals differently. So let's get started. The most common mistake I hear people make in fitness is they confuse wanting something with having a goal. And those are two different things. Wanting something is just a passive, it's a feeling thing. It lives in your head. It requires nothing from you today. But a goal is a commitment. It has a structure. It has a date. It has stakes attached to it, right? And in fitness specifically, I hear versions of this all the freaking time. People tell me, I want to get in shape. I want to lose the weight. I want to feel better. I want to build muscle. And I ask them, by when? And they say, soon, in 3 months, when Susie gets married. And I ask them, what happens if you don't achieve that goal? And most of the time, they don't say anything. They're like, oh, nothing really. I guess life just goes on. So then I ask them, what changes when did you do achieve them, right? Like, and most of the time, people haven't even thought that far. So that's not a goal. That's just a preference. And preferences will not survive a hard week at work. They will not survive when life gets hard. But the thing with a goal does, right? So the difference between somebody who actually transforms their body and someone who just talks about transforming their body for 10 years is almost never talent, genetics, or information. It's structure. The person who transformed built a real goal. The person still talking about it still hasn't. So let's fix that right now. Why do you think most people avoid putting a date on their fitness goals, right? So that's part one, the DCR. Part one of DCR is the deadline, it's the D, right? Because a date, when you put a date on a goal, it makes it real. And real means you can fail. So the thing is, our brain tries to protect us against it. So as long as the goal is open-ended, it's safe. There's no real failure because there's no real deadline, right? So you can always say, I'll start next week. I'll start next month. I'll start after the holidays. I'll start after things calm down. And the weird thing is about open-ended goals is that they create open-ended procrastination. And your brain is extremely good at justifying delays when there's no hard line in the ground, right? So the moment you put a date on something, everything changes. Now your brain has to reverse engineer. It asks itself, hey, if I want to lose 25 pounds by December 1st, and today is July 1st, that's roughly 20 weeks. That means I need to lose a pound a week, a pound to a pound and a half at times, right? That tells me exactly what my caloric deficit needs to look like. That tells me how many days I need to train. That turns a wish into a math problem. And math problems have solutions, right? And compare these two versions. So I guess let's play these scenarios out because I feel like it'll hit home at that point. One person says, I want to lose weight. The second person says, I want to lose 25 pounds by December 1st. The first one asks nothing of you today, right? But the second one asks something of you. So if you're setting these goals and you're like, I want to lose weight, and the other version of you, I want to lose 25 pounds by December 1st, I want to lose weight demands nothing, demands no action right now. But when you say, I want to lose 25 pounds by December 1st, now all of a sudden you might be motivated to get up and go for a walk. You might be motivated to not eat fried chicken today. All of a sudden that dream feels real, right? That deadline feels real. So the first question you need to answer about any fitness goal is, what is the date? What is the deadline? That's the DCR. That's the D in the DCR, which is the deadline. What is the deadline on this goal? It's kind of like, if you look at it, it's kind of like turning a light on in a dark room, right? Suddenly you can see everything. You walk into your room, it is dark, turn the light on, almost you can see everything. So the reason the deadline is so important is because you're going to need it. It motivates you. It gives you a deadline. There's a clear structure around it. I've had clients come to me who've been saying they want to lose 40 pounds for 3-4 years. And we sat down in the first call, we picked a date. And you can visibly see something in them, right? They almost always got new urgency. They got new motivation, right? And all of a sudden a signal that their brain will take it seriously now. And here's the thing with the deadline, actually. And I want to make this one note and then we'll move on to the next topic, which is you have to be honest about the deadlines. You don't want to be so aggressive that they set you up to fail in week 2. Not so loose that they create no urgency. So you don't want them too strict and you don't want them too loose. And for fat loss specifically, 1 to 1.5 pound a week is sustainable and realistic for most people. So work backwards from that math. Pick a real date and write it down. So if you want to lose 20 pounds, give yourself 16 to 20 weeks. That way, you know it can be done. And there'll be like a week where life gets hectic, but you can catch on next week. But you're still making strides. You're still moving towards it. You're making momentum. Okay. So that was D for deadline. All right. Now we're going into C in DCR, which is the consequence. Ooh. So how do you get somebody to actually feel the cost of not achieving a goal, right? Well, you make them think and walk forward in future and look back. So most people, when they think about their health, they just think about today. They feel uncomfortable today. They want to change today, but the motivation fades because the pain of today is manageable. You can survive it. So you just delay. What I do with my clients is I take them to the future, not the future where they succeeded, but the future where they didn't, right? The future where they're in exactly same spot a year from now. The future where like now they have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes and hypertension and high cholesterol, and they can't walk and they have arthritis. Their body has gotten weaker. Years of neglect has made their body very weak. So I take them to that future and I tell them, I'm like, okay, what is, 2 years from now? Let's say you're 45 years old at that point. You still have the same 50 pounds you've been trying to lose since you were 35. Your knees hurt more. Your energy is lower. You get winded going up the stairs. Your doctor is telling you things you do not want to hear. Your kids are teenagers now, right? And they want to do things you physically cannot do with them. So is that okay with you? For most people, when I make it that vivid, the answer is no. And then no becomes their fuel. It motivates them. So there's something Tony Robbins talks about a lot that I really like, which I think is true. He says, the human beings change when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing, right? So that is very powerful because change will only happen when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing. So most people don't change because the pain of staying the same is still so low, they tolerate it, right? And your job, if you're serious about your fitness goals, is to make the pain real, that tolerating it is no longer acceptable, okay? So then if you look at it where it's like, okay, is there a difference between fear-based motivation and consequence-based motivation, or are they the same thing? And the thing is, there's a small distinction. They're related, but they're not the same thing. So fear-based motivation is reactive. Something bad happens or is happening and you're running away from it, right? It can be powerful in the short term, but it burns out fast because once you get far enough from the fear, the urgency stops. So as soon as you lose the first 5 to 10 pounds and you're out of the danger zone, you're like, I'm good, Mo. I'm good. Life. I don't need to I don't need to work out on Sunday morning or Friday morning. I can just relax. Versus the consequence-based motivation is different because it's forward-looking and it's chosen, right? I'll tell you an example. Every fitness competition I've competed in, it was tough. Like it literally required a deadline. We clearly had a deadline where it's like by January 25th, LA Fitness Expo, NPC Physique, I have to be on stage at 10 a.m. There was no messing around. There's going to be photographers. My coach is going to be there. And if I lose, I'm going to lose in front of a lot of people. And I don't want to lose. There's a clear deadline. And there's also consequence, right? If I don't show up prepared, if I'm slacking, that means on show day, I will not look my best and I will not win at all. I'll actually be embarrassed to be backstage next to competitors who have done their work, right? So at the end of the day, that is an example of a consequence-based motivation. So thinking in the future, being like, okay, what if I just keep eating these nachos and like, I'm not going to look my best. I'm not going to look great, right? There's a consequence. There's a clear deadline, right? So that is one of the ways you can, like fear-based just means like, I just got to get through, like, I just got to lose 5 pounds because my doctor said so. And then after that, I won't be pre-diabetic. All right. It's going to motivate you until you get there. But then what? You'll gain those 5 pounds back, right? So it's like at the end of the day, you got to have some consequence-based motivation. So now we talked about the deadline. We need to have a deadline around your goal, right? Pick one based on the 1 pound a week rule that I taught you. Then pick a consequence. What happens if you don't achieve it, right? One thing I used to do a lot with clients, and I still do, which is like, I would ask them like, hey, schedule a photo shoot. Like even have your cousin who has a camera, like do a photo shoot, make it look nice on Sunday, on XY day, where you'll take some nice pictures for yourself. And now you have a clear deadline and clear consequence that, hey, if I don't look good on that XYZ date, I'm going to be ashamed. I'm not going to be happy with myself. And that consequence will drive you. It'll fuel you. It'll motivate you. And the best part is on the date, you'll start looking better a week before that date anyway, and you won't even care. Like it'll just become a part of your lifestyle. But at first, you need those consequences. And then the part 3, which is DCR, deadline, consequence, and last part is reward, right? We spend so much time setting goals, but so little time visualizing what winning looks like because we're conditioned to focus on the problem, not the outcome. So everything in the fitness culture talks about what we're trying to fix, lose the fat, fix the diet, stop being lazy, get off the couch. It's all problem framing, right? And after a while, your brain just kind of associates fitness with pain, restriction, and sacrifice. Nobody ever asks you, hey, once you hit your goal, how are you going to celebrate? What does your life look like after you celebrate? What do you do on a Saturday morning after you achieve your goal that you cannot do today? How would you feel when you look in the mirror? What do you wear that's been sitting in your closet for 3 years? What do your kids say when they look at you? What does your spouse, your husband, your wife see when they look at you, right? What would they say? Like real reward, right? Or if you're somebody like who has if you're inspired by certain things, like buy yourself a nice thing. Depending on your financial situation, you can buy yourself a nice purse. Guys, you can buy yourself a nice watch. If you're into experiences, buy yourself a nice trip, maybe to another state, maybe to another country. Like just get yourself a reward and have a date for it, because all of this is going to fuel your fitness journey, right? Because once the Monday morning alarm hits and you don't want to wake up early to go to the gym, you're less likely to skip it because there's a real reward in XYZ deadline and there's a real consequence if you don't achieve it, right? So that's the biggest thing. DCR, deadline, consequence, reward. Every serious fitness goal has all three, not one, not two, but all three, right? D is the deadline. That's a specific date by which you will achieve the goal. Not soon, not this year, calendar date. Write it down. Tell someone. Make it real, right? And then what you can do is go into your Google Calendar, go to that deadline and make a Google Calendar entry and literally write, did we do it? Question mark. Did we do it? Question mark. That should be on your Google Calendar for the deadline. The C is the consequence. What actually happens to your life if you never achieve this? Not a vague answer like I'll be unhealthy. A specific, vivid, emotional picture of the future you are choosing but not changing. Make it uncomfortable enough that tolerating it feels unacceptable. Okay? And then R is a reward. What specifically becomes possible when you win? What do you wear, feel, experience, show up as? Where do you go for vacation? How would you treat yourself? Like, imagine your younger sibling, your best friend achieves a goal and you now want to celebrate with them. How would you celebrate for you? What is the reward you would give yourself, right? And the thing is, when all three are in place, something different happens. Your brain stops treating the goal as optional. It starts treating it as a mission. And people on mission behave completely different than people with preferences. So this framework works for fitness, but honestly, it works for every app. Fitness, finances, faith, family, fun, money goals, business goals, relationship goals, career goals, because the human brain works the same way regardless of which category you apply these DCR to. Okay. But today we're talking about the body. So let's keep it here, right? Start at the deadline, set a deadline, then give yourself a real consequence, and then give yourself a real reward that's actually inspiring and motivating enough for you to take action today. And once you have that set, if you're like, okay, I just realized I have no structure, I have no accountability, and I have no plan, and how am I actually going to lose this weight and tone up and stay healthy? That's when you reach out to your boy, Coach Mo. Obviously, I run Training with the Titans. We don't have any sponsor for this episode. I refuse to have stupid advertising on this, but the only company that sponsors it is my own company, Training with the Titans. So when you guys listen to this, get value out of this and end up coming and working with us one-on-one, right? That's how we sponsor the episode of Healthy Systems on week. That's how I can drop all these free gems for you guys. So overall, if you want structured accountability, coaching from experts, but like myself, like my team, who've been doing this for 10 plus years, you're not going to be our first client at all. Look at our testimonials. We've worked with over thousands of clients at this point. If you want that help, literally it's so simple. Just go to our website, twtt.us. You can easily book a call there, fill out a few questions. That way we have some, understanding of where you're starting. Pick a time. You can either talk to me or talk to my head coach, or you can just go on Instagram. You can go to Facebook. I'm so easy to find. Just look up Mo Gaius, MOEGHIAS. Shoot me a DM. Be like, hey, coach, I listened to the DCR Healthy Systems podcast, and I would like to learn more about your coaching program. And then, we'll walk you through it. We'll jump on a quick call, walk through the pricing options, pick one that works best for you, and let's get you started. Because if you have a deadline, there's nothing worse than having a deadline and then giving up on it, because that erodes your self-esteem. Because now your own self, your own brain says, I don't trust this person. They set fake deadlines and they don't achieve any of it, right? But when you have a deadline and you have a consequence and you have a reward, please don't just let it be another journal entry on your notebook. make it so real that achieving it is everything and failing at it is failure at a deepest level. That's what it takes to actually achieve your goals. Because if you're just tolerating whatever and you just set goals that you don't achieve, what do you think that does to your self-confidence? What do you think that does to your self-esteem? It declines by a lot, and there's no therapy that can fix that. The reason I'm so confident is I set goals and I achieve them, and I do whatever. I hire people. I hire help. I hire coaches, mentors to help me, people that have already been there. I'm like, hey, coach, I have this goal. I don't know how to get there because I've never done it myself, but you've been there. You've been doing this for 10 years. Can you help me? I'll pay you for your time, but help me achieve it. And now I'm telling you, every time I've paid for help, the chance of achieving that goal goes up by like 100 folds, because now I have expert accountability. I have somebody that has the plan, they've been there, done that, and gotten the t-shirts, right? So for you, don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to actually ask for help and be like, I got this goal and I'm going to achieve it, right? That's how we do it. You get help, because otherwise on your own, you run out of fuel. Even with the DCR method, what happens is there's going to be no accountability, and your brain is very freaking good at justifying failure. It will tell you, it's okay. We set that goal when we didn't have a job. We set that goal when Mo was single. Now Mo has a child. Now Mo has 2 businesses. Now Mo is busy. Now Mo is writing a book. Now Mo is like, it's just your brain is so good at justifying failure that it's not even funny. But if you have an expert coach, accountability on your side, now there's nothing to hide. You get after it. You do what you can. You keep moving forward. And even by the deadline, even if you don't lose all 20 pounds because life got hectic, I'm telling you, you'll still lose 17 and you'll feel just as awesome. So that's the benefit of having a coach on your side. I look forward to hearing back from you. Reach out. If you're like, okay, Mo, this hits, I need this, then reach out. We'll be ready to go. We'll give you a 10% discount if you're a Healthy Systems podcast listener, because I value you guys. I know the hundreds and hundreds of you. I was just looking at the data this morning who listen to it every single week. Even the last 2 weeks when I was off, I saw that a lot of you are still listening to the podcast. That fired me up. So I'm going to hook you guys up. Reach out. We'll give you 10% discount. Come work with us. And then we can actually make this fitness happen for you for real, just like I have for thousands of my clients and all the testimonials you see on my videos. Okay. So I look forward to hearing back from you, and have a great rest of your day. And don't forget the DCR method. Okay. Deadline, consequence, reward. Without it, your goal is just a fake goal. It's not a real goal. It's just a wish. Okay. To your success, go crush it and have a great rest of your day. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for listening to the Healthy Systems podcast. I really appreciate you for tuning in today. Now, here are 2 ways I can help you for free. 1, you can join our free Facebook community by just going to this link, bit.ly/Titan Facebook group. Just type that into your browser and then answer 2 questions, and then we'll let you into our Facebook community where you'll meet other people, as well as we have a lot of free resources in terms of meal plans, workouts, all kinds of stuff in there. Second way I can help you for free is if you follow me on Instagram at Mo Gaius, MOE, G as in George, H as in horse, I as in India, A as in apple, S as in Sam. Follow me there and then shoot me a message with the word Healthy Systems, and then I'll be sure to send you a free gift. Other than that, keep listening in, and I really appreciate you.